Hello, happy Monday. Am I there? Here I am. Hello, happy Monday. Hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope that if you were in the path of any of the storms with Tropical Storm Cristobal, that you are safe. I know here in Central Florida we had a couple of tornadoes. That was scary. I was grateful they were not near me, but I know that we had some and some friends that were mildly affected. So very grateful for that. That nobody was injured. And one of my friends got to hide in a beer freezer. That I'm sure was interesting. Um, so I'm just very grateful that everyone is safe and all of that, and especially with everything that is continuing to go on in our country. Grateful for everyone's safety and for people to continue to take the threat of violence serious. Hi, Robin. And to take the threat of the virus serious. We were talking about this last night in the sister circle that I facilitate. That the control the narrative, and so we're not hearing as much from him about the virus, and he has been quietly shutting down his task force to basically do nothing, which is pretty much what they've done from the start. But the virus isn't going away. Hi, Susanna. The virus isn't going away, and so whatever you need to do to protect yourself and to make you feel safe, that's what we need to do. That's what you need to do. So people have been asking me, if I'm going to open back up for face-to-face readings, and we're starting to discuss it because obviously we can't stay closed forever, and we've been so grateful to do so much through Facebook and Facebook Messenger and Zoom and all kinds of things. But at some point, we can't stay hidden away forever, and I do understand that. But whatever precautions that feel right for you and your family, that's the important thing. And so just do it if you feel like you need to do. And don't let anybody fuss at you about, that's stupid or whatever. You do you. And it's just to keep yourselves protected, because really, until our society develops herd immunity to this, it's not going to go away. And we don't have to be afraid of it. I think we do need to be. For me, I'm very frustrated that there wasn't more we could have done to protect the people who were our most vulnerable. And at the same time, the metaphysic in me and the spiritualist in me knows that every person who left the planet left because that was in their plan to do so. And when I'm in my psychic brain, that makes it easier, but when I'm in my human heart, it certainly does not. And so I think it's important to to understand that a virus, a vaccine rushed into production and massively distributed benefits the drug company that did it, that produced it, and that's pretty much who that benefits. And there are going to be lots of people who are going to rush into to being vaccinated, and that is a very personal choice. And I am not an anti-vaxxer, don't get me wrong. My kids have all had their vaccinations, and I really believe in the things that have been tried and true. Chickenpox, MMR, and all the things that we got as kids, likely. So it's not about that, but it is about the rush to production. I am, many of you know, I am still a very successful sales director with Mary Kay Cosmetics, and I love that aspect of my job and my life. And the Mary Kay Foundation, which raises money to end domestic violence and end women's cancers, has funded some amazing research that's been done in the last 20 years to help identify markers for women with breast cancer. It's where the BRCA test came from. Mary Kay funded some of that research. We're very proud of that. But they also funded research that help identify cervical cancer, which led to the vaccine of Gardasil, or the shot. I don't know if it's an actual vaccine, but it led to Gardasil. Gardasil was rushed into production, and while it was largely successful, there were also some really big problems with it. And as a director with Mary Kay, we helped fund science group that, not the drug company, but the researchers who came up with understanding the gene therapy that would prevent cervical cancer. And that was what was developed into the drug. And so not sure if Gardasil is still available, but there are significant risks involved because it was rushed to the market. And so won't ever tell anybody what to do. But I will tell you what I believe, and I will tell you, my suggestion, and I'm happy to speak, to anybody, on that. And I'm not out to try and convince anybody of anything, except that life continues and we don't, dead is not done. But I do think it's really important that we do everything that we can to keep our own bodies healthy and to keep those around us healthy, and whatever that looks like for you. So, we've made some decisions and choices here in my family, and masks and hand sanitizers are definitely part of that. But understand that the virus is not going to go away, and the vaccine may not be the answer to everything. If you have turned on a television in any recent days, you can be bombarded instantly with drug commercials. And the drug commercials, let's say the commercial is 2 minutes long, the second minute is all about the side effects. This drug may cause this, that, and the other thing. And those disclaimers have gotten longer and longer and longer because the drugs are rushed to the market. And so I'm not quite sure why they've put that on my heart, that I really find these words just spooling out of my mouth today. But when I come to this place, I come to the place of, give me your words, tell me what you want me to say, and keep me out of your way. So for whatever reason, whoever needed to hear that or needs to hear that, I just wanted to share that information with you, that we can do so much to keep ourselves safe if we're smart and we use sense. And if you're going to the rallies, you take my heart with you. Be safe, wear a mask, don't hug anybody, and just be safe, because what is happening in our country right now, on the one hand, is frightening, but on the other hand, it is unbelievably motivating and empowering. And we've seen it since this president came into office. We've seen this country mobilize in a way that we have not seen since the 60s. And to see our young people in the March for Our Lives, and while my heart breaks for the reasons that they're out there, I'm so impressed with the work that they've done and the movement they've created, and the Women's March, and now Black Lives Matter, because they do. And there is a serious problem that needs to be addressed. And I love to see that, it is not going away, and it's not going to go away. And, people are talking about, when the protesters get tired and nothing changes. But I'm seeing so many amazing grassroots things going on, like the defunding the police. And I don't know if that's the answer, but we're already seeing some changes being made in Minnesota and in LA and some other big cities. We're seeing people are finally taking a look and saying, this is a problem we need to address in our society, and how can we do this better? And that's the important part. Lists are being published of Black-owned restaurants, and if you live near me, I am so happy to recommend something fishy that is owned by very dear friends, and the food is fantastic. Supporting our small businesses that are owned by people of color or minorities, and doing those things that keep our neighborhoods running. It was interesting to see an heir to Walmart come out and say she was going to donate to anti-Trump campaign things, and I thought that was really interesting, because I'm no fan of Walmart. I understand it serves a purpose, but I look at Target and Walmart as almost like the yin and the yang of the big box, retail store. You have Target that continues to come out on the side of, oh, see, my camera pooped out again. So give me a comment if I'm still there. I think I'm still there. This happened before that my camera went out, but just let me know I'm still there. We have Target that comes out in support of Black Lives Matter and transgender rights and the rights of women to breastfeed and all kinds of amazing things. And then we have, and Target does so much to give back to the community, and in small towns around, across our country, we watch Walmart just decimate the small business landscape. And so many towns that had small mom and pop businesses for this or that went away because Walmart came in and moved in. And so for me, as a small business owner, that I have been a small business owner, somebody let me know I'm still here. Check on Facebook, on my phone. But as a small business owner, I don't want to keep yammering along if I'm not really there. Am I here? Where am I? Am I here? Is this me? Oh, there's me. Okay, I'm here. Okay, yay. Okay. So as a small business owner, because I have been one for, over 20 years with Mary Kay and with this work, I believe so much in supporting small businesses. And so even before Black Lives Matter, I believe so much in supporting small businesses, and I believe so much in voting with our dollars. The places we shop, the places we patronize, every dollar we spend is a vote. And so I think it's really important that we look at those things as well, because that's really where we can affect change, is by keeping in business the things we want to have in our community. Do we want? We've been sending money through this time to a small dance company and dance school that we are very fond of, the owners and the talent that's there, and we've been sending money that way. And I'm so happy to see that they're weathering the storm and they're reopening. I want them to stay in our community. I like what they do. I like what they contribute. I like what they bring to better our community, and I want to make sure they survive. Restaurants, clothing stores, different places where we can make a difference in our own communities by voting with our dollars. So I understand that not everybody has extra dollars right now, and that is totally fine. Referrals have always been a huge part of both of my businesses. Share me with your friends. Share your favorite stores, your favorite businesses, your favorite restaurants. Share those things with the people that you care about. Let them know why those places are important to you. And again, if you like me, and I thank you for joining me, share this video, share my page. We are at 635. I mean, just so exciting as we continue to climb and build our community to 700 followers, and I will give away another reading. And if you're watching this and you earned one of the first 2 free readings I was giving away, please send me a message, because I haven't been able to deliver those readings, and because folks are not, getting with me to set up a time. So if you won one of the first 2 readings we were giving away, make sure you send me a message so we can get those booked for you. And no cheating, I know who you are. Okay, so when we hit 700, we're going to add another reading. We'll give away another free 30-minute reading. And we have, I am on Instagram. You can follow me on Instagram, and I also have a YouTube channel. And on Wednesdays, we are back here at 7 o'clock at night for about 30 minutes to do some meditation and to learn meditation and to talk about meditation. And I would love, I think we may open that up into like a Facebook room, because now there's the rooms for groups. So because I would love to be able to see you and to be able to work with you more individually as we learn to meditate and we teach you to meditate, because so many people feel like, oh, I can't do that. I'm like, you know what? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. So I'm going to get the cards. We're ready to pull out our cards. If you have questions, and again, I don't know exactly why they wanted me to share all of that with you, but I trust them implicitly, and I'm so grateful to have this time with you and to share whatever it is that Spirit wants to send forward. So I'm going to go ahead and shuffle. So as we have been doing the last few weeks, I'm going to start with our Goddess Power Oracle cards from Colette Baron Reed. These are gorgeous. These cards are so beautiful. And we're going to get a goddess who's going to guide us, to guide our to be the guidepost of our message this week. So we'll shuffle cards, and you can hear me shuffling them, and on the boobs, but you can hear me shuffling them, and just so you can see it, because I'm always, every time we use the cards and they come up, it's always like an amazing thing of what has come up to identify and confirm what we've just talked about. So you guys can see I'm shuffling them. Okay, so I'm gonna cut them, and so again, if you guys have questions, just go ahead and let me know. Okay, so here is Maat. Okay, so this is, look at this. Isn't this gorgeous? Look at her. Look at her. She's just so beautiful. Maat. We're going to look her up. So she's number 30. Okay, so we're going to check her out. And I think what's so fabulous is, we've been using these goddess cards for a couple of weeks now. And this is the first, look at, she's this gorgeous, powerful warrior woman, person of color. And we've had a couple others that were, pretty Nordic looking or Celtic. And this is the first woman of real color that we've had. And isn't that spectacular that here we are in the midst of the Black Lives Matter, shift of our collective understanding of how we need to operate in the world. And here she comes, this gorgeous warrior woman. And I love that she has her hands on her heart. I love that she has her hands on her heart. That is fantastic. So it says, and again, I'm not sure if it's Matt because it's M-A'-A-T or Ma'at. I'm going to go with Ma'at because that feels right to me. It says she is all about truth. Her message is all about truth. There is great power in telling the truth and allowing it to lead you to a higher ground. It's only when we refuse to see the reality of a situation that we lose our power to co-create for the highest good. The Egyptian goddess Ma'at comes to remind you that if you are willing to do a fearless inventory and live authentically with rigorous honesty, it will lead you to great success in all areas of your life. Being completely transparent with others, although it might first feel too vulnerable, is exactly what you need to do now. When you do this, you will be flooded with the power to claim and experience a new freedom and a new happiness that will pour over your life like a wild, sweet honey. I think that is spectacular because this is literally what we were talking about last night in our sister circle. And it is all about being honest with ourselves and being honest, like really digging down deep to heal those inner wounds and releasing that stuff so that we can really live our most authentic life and that we can come together as everyone to come together, living in our truth and understanding that we are all one and we are all connected. So I am so just delighted and honored that she chose to step forward for us today. So that is so beautiful to me. And the last line that I kind of skipped, I want to go back to her book really quick. So I'm in the guidebook because I literally can't remember all these things. There's so much amazing information that Colette Baron Reid has put into this guidebook about these amazing women. But it says, your life is exactly where it needs to be. This is a wonderful time of empowered choice making. You're doing all the right things if you follow the invitation of Ma'at to live fearlessly in truth. So I just thought that was awesome. I wanted to share that last little piece. We are facing our demons. We're facing our inner fears. We're facing our inner truth. We're facing prejudices and things that have been buried long buried inside of us. And we're working hard to release these things. And I have to scroll up. There's many other comments. Hi, hi Maria from Italy. Hi from the UK. Oh my gosh, how exciting, you guys. Please let me know if we're going to be able to cope with everything. Yes. You can change the computer time to snooze the screen if it stays on longer. No, it's not my computer screen that's going out. It's like if you go live on Facebook, I can see me, like what my camera is showing you, and then it goes black. So, but I can see the light is still on my camera. Maria, the answer is yes. We are going to be able to cope with everything. We are. That doesn't mean it's going to be easy, but we are going to be able to cope with everything. And I was talking about this before because folks like me, we have been seeing this coming, and astrologers have a different picture of it. But so many people who are metaphysically aware or spiritually aware or whatever, who can see and hear, a little bit further out of what's in front of us. It is, thanks, Katja. We've been seeing that there is the fracture that's coming, and I've heard people talking about it, the new revolution and the new, the emergence of the new earth and all these kind of things, and it's really, really true. I've been talking for a long time about the fracturing of where we were going to see the rising of the light and the rising of the dark, and we were going to see this fracturing until it was finally going to just break apart. And that's where we are right now. We're in the breaking apart. And so it's really important that we understand this is all part of our development as humanity. We want to not destroy ourselves in the process, and I'm grateful that that does not seem to be the direction that we're going in. But there is so much fracturing, and we've talked before about energy not being instant, right? We get into the full moon portal and poof, energy's up, and then we go in the new moon, poof, energy's down. It doesn't work that way. Energy is so much, it is slow, and it moves, and it creeps, and it has waves to it, and we ride that energy. And so it is so much that we are in the waves right now. We're in the waves. And you know what they say with the waves? You can either let them crash over you or you can learn to surf. And so there are going to be people who are going to let it crash over. There are going to be people who are going to feel like this is just too much with the quarantine and the, you know, jobless rates and the protests in the street and the heartbreak. And there are people who are going to choose to leave the earth. If you choose to stay, then you have a couple of choices as well. And that is to wallow. And I don't mean this, and I'm not being judgmental to anybody, and I'm not suggesting anyone is wallowing, but we can wallow in the negative. We can live in that place of fear, which I know a lot of people are doing right now. And I get it. I get it. We live in that place of fear because it seems like every day there's another thing, and what's going to happen next, and what's going to happen next. And there are a few things that give me hope. And so instead of living in the place of fear or the wallowing, I'm choosing, Maria, you're absolutely right, Age of Aquarius. I am, and the cards are always appropriate to follow what we're talking about, which is why we talk first, and then I use the cards for confirmation afterwards. I have always believed, oh, I was going somewhere with that. Okay, so when we went into quarantine and the earth shut down basically, and everything shut down for about a month, I was really, it was amazing to see how quickly Mother Nature bounced back. I mean, she began that process immediately with animals and with the pollution rates and trees and forests. And now we're not going to refreeze the planet. Okay, I don't really see that as a thing that's happening. But what I did understand is that it's not too late, and that Mother Nature has an unbelievable ability to heal. I work at, some of you know, I volunteer at a state park that's about an hour north of my home, called Blue Springs State Park. And what I do there is I'm a manatee observer, which is basically, we have a lot of local manatees. And if you don't know what a manatee is, they're like these big, we call them the chubby mermaids, or the, you know, baked potatoes of the water. They're these big mammals with flippers and these really cute noses and these big wide tails, like flap tails. And we have the West Indian manatees here, and manatees are endangered. They are severely threatened. They get hit by boats, they get tangled up in fishing wire, and they die at an alarming rate. And they're just so cute and sweet and friendly, and they're very, very smart, and they're very social. And so we have a whole group of manatees that just don't migrate. Where I live is the winter home of the manatees. We get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of manatees that will come here. At Blue Springs Park alone, we may get about 600 manatees that come because they can't deal with the cold water. They can't deal with cold temperatures. That's another thing that threatens them. And so they come to Florida to the spring water, which is the same temperature year round, and it's warm enough for them. And they have a place where they can ride out the winter like snowbirds here in Florida. But we also have a group of manatees that don't migrate. They don't leave after the winter is over because they don't have to. There's plenty of food, there's plenty of water, there's, you know, it's lovely weather, and they just don't need to leave. But the spring's open to swimmers and boats, and the manatees, people want to hug them or ride them or just be idiots. And so I go out there in a kayak and I educate people about the manatees and the legalities of if you touch that manatee again. And we try to help people understand. And we also help the manatees not learn bad habits that they should go and play with the human people. And so it's a joy. It's sometimes a little crazy, but it's a joy to do this work and to protect the manatees. And it was amazing to see the park empty because we had the opportunity to go up there while it was shut down. It was amazing to see the park empty, and it's amazing to see things bounce back so quickly. Last year or the year before, I was just so outraged to go in my kayak one morning, and at the very end of the water where the spring head comes out of the earth, there's a big rock face, and some idiot had gone up there and carved, you know, initials, loves, you know, initials. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. I was so angry because they're so high up there was literally nothing we could do, except in a week Mother Nature had taken it back. Between the rain and the earth, where the reason you can't climb up there is because it's an erosion risk. And so the earth and the weeds and the tree roots, and Mother Nature had taken it back in a week. in a week it started to fade. And every person who saw it commented on how horrible it was. And it gave me hope that there will be time to heal. Now, I know we've got the experts that are talking about the 12 years and climate, crisis, and I'm with them, but it's not too late, and it's not too late, and Mother Nature can heal, and so can we. And so, Maria, I want you to understand that we will heal, but we will go forward in a different way. I like to tickle the manatees with banana leaves. Hi, Brian. Hi, Brian. If I find you tickling manatees, I'm going to slap you. But it's lovely to see your name pop up, my friend. Nobody, please don't listen to anything Brian says. So I'm encouraged by the fact that Mother Nature can bounce back faster than we can, but I'm also encouraged by the fact that we're already getting through it, Maria. We're already adapting. We're already talking about how to live a new normal, how to move in this new way of life with masks or hand sanitizers or banana leaves or, and where are we driving and how are we working from home and how are we communicating online? Facebook created this Facebook groups or rooms, Facebook rooms where you open it up and then and then you can talk to people in the rooms, and I've been playing with that and it's been super fun. And so we're already learning how to work differently and how to live differently. And so yeah, we are going to get through it. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm counting the days till November, but we are going to get through it. It's just going to be different. And for anybody that's holding on to, I want to get back to normal, that's not going to happen, but we can all go forward. And I'm so happy, Brian. I love seeing you pop up. I'm sending you a big hug, my friend. But we're learning a new normal, and it is going to be different, but it doesn't mean that we can't do it. So yeah, we are going to get through it. Now, I will tell you, we've got Saturn and Jupiter and the moon that are all coming into a triangle, and we've got a whole bunch of planets right now that are squaring off in a T that creates a lot of weird and wacky energy out there. And I said last week, I said June is going to be tough. June is going to be a tumultuous month. And we've seen it already with the full moon in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is a fire sign. So it is going to be a bumpy June, but I know we're going to get through it, and I think we're going to be okay. And I think we're going to start to see more of what we're already starting to see, at least in this country, which is police forces starting to be open to conversations and looking for different ways that they can handle things and looking at ways they can change what they know they need to change. And it's a momentum that will build. It takes one place that makes a change, then another place makes a change, then another place makes a change. I look at straws. I use a metal straw for my smoothie in the morning, and I don't like straws. I mean, if you go to a restaurant with me and they bring the straws, I'm always like, no straws, no straws. And I will give them back to the server. Straws are bad, straws are bad. And it drives my mother bananas because she likes a straw. And I'm like, here's a metal straw. Here's a collapsible straw that you can put in your purse. Stop it with the damn straws. And so, but now, at least where I live, there are more and more restaurants that are, would you like a straw? And, or they just don't serve them, or they use paper straws. And so change is slow, but it does come if we are persistent, because every time I tell them, no straws, the managers notice it. They know they're not going through the straws as fast. They know that people want change. So I believe we will get through it. There's a great quote that I love by my very dear friend, Chris Judd, who is the positivity powerhouse. She's awesome. She's got a Facebook page. And this woman has been through more trauma than than one human should ever be required to go through. And yet she says, your track record of surviving the shit you have gone through up till now is 100%. So it is feasible to assume that your track record of surviving going forward will also be 100%. And I just really love that. We are transforming. We won't be the same. But you know what? I don't want to be the same. I don't want to be the same. I think about my life before I started really doing this work. I don't want to go back. I don't want to be who I was. I don't want to be who I was 10 years ago. I don't want to be who I was 10 days ago. So Katja, you're absolutely right. We are, because our purpose here as humans is to grow and evolve and change. That's our purpose. Oh my goodness, we've talked for 30 minutes and we still haven't done any cards except our beautiful goddess. All right. I love seeing your comments, you guys. Thank you for participating in the conversation. Even Brian. Brian is one of my favorite people. He is one of my fellow seers. He lives here in Florida, and he's one of my dearest friends. So I always tease him about not coming to visit when I go live. So I'm delighted that he was able to stop by today. I love your comments, you guys. Thank you so much for participating. It is so much more fun when we can interact with each other and chat. I got to figure out how many of those rooms can hold. So maybe we'll move this onto the room. So let's pick some cards. All right. Oh my heavens. Share your voice. Come out of the cave. Persecution, expression. Share your voice. Share your voice. Share your voice. Can you see this? Share your voice. This is exactly what's going on in our world right now. We are being called, we are being demanded to share our voice, to share our most authentic truth, to share our voice. I miss hugs and kisses too. Oh, Maria, I do. I'm a hugger. I miss hugs and kisses too. Yeah. In the beginning, I was hugging the snot out of my boys, my college-age kids, and they don't appreciate it. They really are not appreciating it. But I miss the hugging too. I miss seeing my parents. I mean, my parents live in about 15 minutes away. I miss seeing my parents. We've done a couple of driveway dinners. I talk to them every day or every other day, but I miss hugging my dad. I miss hugging my mom. It's the truth. My best friends, they come, we stand outside and, just come in. My house has always been come on in, sit down and put your feet up. Like if you're around and you stop by my house, come on in. And it has always been that way. And this is hard for me because I'm very much like, don't come in my house. And I hate that. Oh, I hate it. Council of Light. Oh, I love this. I love this. Council of Light. Divine orchestration. I can't see what it says. Divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realms is what it says. Okay, so this is so important, and this goes right back to Maria's comment of, are we going to make it through here? And the answer is absolutely, because we have the Council of Light, and there are so many other organizations up there that are looking out for us. For a period of time, I was so blessed to be part of something called the Army of Light. And if you are familiar with what happens to your body when you sleep and your soul leaves your body as you sleep, and it goes into the astral, and you can heal, you can explore, you can travel, you can meet with loved ones. I used to go and spy on my kids at college. I just wanted to know they were okay sleeping in their beds, and that they were safe. But there's so much that we can do. But there's an army of light out there that goes out and protects people in the world. While your human is asleep, your soul is out there active in the ether and making a difference and doing amazing things. And don't think that it's not. And the Council of Light is a humongous part of that. And there are lots of different names for it. But these are the wise, the ancestors, the guardians that are out there protecting us, and we get to be part of that. When we are sleeping, our souls can be part of these things that are healing the world, working in the background, helping people, helping humans, working in the background. So when I say to you, I trust them, and that I know that we're going to be okay because this is all happening how it's supposed to be happening, even though it's not easy. It's because I know that they have an understanding, and I know that they have a hand in not allowing us to destroy ourselves and helping us to move forward. And so we have, okay, so if you follow me, we've seen this card almost every single week, the ever unfolding rose, which is cracked open, cracked open, it's happening for you and not to you. It's happening for you and not to you. And we've talked about this so many times, that all of the things that are happening, this is the universe working on our behalf for us. It's not happening to us, it's happening for us. It's not easy, but it's happening for us. And transformation is not easy. We've talked about coming out of the cocoon. We've talked about how the butterfly has to work and work to get out of the cocoon, and we have to really and we want to help because it's struggling, except if you help the butterfly, it dies. And it has to get through the struggle. It has to get through the fire to complete its transformation and be who it was meant to be. And that is where we are, and that is who we are right now, literally right now. We are watching our society, we are watching our humanity struggling to break free from that cocoon, struggling to break out and to break free from that. That is what we are watching literally in real time every single day. And so do keep in mind that the truth tellers are watching us and guarding us and guiding us. Okay, I guarantee you she's part of the Council of Light, my opinion. But we have sharing our voice, okay? This is the time of that. We have the Council of Light, okay? And we have the ever unfolding rose. We are going exactly in the direction that we are supposed to go in. Louise Hay, who founded Hay House, which is one of the most amazing self-help places, it is, she would always say, you have to see the dirt before you can clean it. Doctors will tell you they have to find the cancer cells before they can treat it. We are doing exactly these things. We are seeing the dirt in our society. We are finding the cancer cells, and we are moving forward. We are absolutely moving forward into a new revolution, a new evolution of the new me. And I am so proud of you to be able to say, I love the new me is really fantastic. What a blessing. What a gift. I do want to go back to something Maria said. I know you've been struggling with the loss of your husband, my friend, and I send you so much love and light because I know, and I can't even begin to imagine how difficult that's been for you. But I want you to know he's with you. He's absolutely with you. He's been with your son also. And there will be a time for the two of you to communicate. There will be a time for the two of you to communicate. Patience in grief is so difficult, and I get it. We want to hear from our loved ones immediately. We want to know that they're okay. We want them to come back. We want them to not be dead, not be gone. We want them to make some kind of contact with us. And it takes time. And for some, it can be quicker. And for some, it can be, some people get a message like the next day, and some people may not come through for weeks and months. The more wrecked we are by the passing and the transition of our loved one, the longer it's going to take for them to come through to us, because they won't come through if they think it's going to upset us. So the more you can allow yourself to work through that path of grief, and your time is your time. Nobody should tell you, what are you still crying about? Like that's bullshit. Grief comes in waves. Every path is different. And being able to walk that path in your time and in your way, your way is your way. There's no one way to walk the path of grief. But the more we can come to a peace with our loved ones passing, it doesn't make it okay. It doesn't mean we don't love them, we don't miss them. But the more we can stand back on our own 2 feet, the more we open the door for them to come forward for us. Some of you know, I'm not shy about talking about it, that my twin passed away very unexpectedly on December 13th, Friday the 13th, just almost 6 months ago. And it wrecked me. It absolutely wrecked me. And I had been begging and begging for him to come through. And I understood that he needed to learn how to do that. And once he did, and once I was no longer in the place where I was quite literally bursting into tears every single day, which really was only in the past month, that's when he started coming through. And it's been an amazing experience to watch him learn how to speak to me, how to communicate, how to let me know that he's there. And I begged him not to leave. Please stay. And I have been told that he is the twin. He is my twin, and he will be with me as to whatever extent that I welcome him to be. And the same will be for your husband, that our loved ones are always with us. If we are welcoming them and desiring them and needing them and wanting them, but we're coming from a place of love and not from complete breakdown, they will be with us. They are with us in complete breakdown. We just can't hear them because we're in that place of grief. And so, Maria, I send you so much love and so much light and healing, and I want you to know that he is with you. The most important thing is that he's all right. I cried. I still cry. There's nothing wrong with that. I still cry. But it doesn't wreck me. I cry because I'm sad that he's not here, that I can't talk to him. I can't see his face. We can't communicate in the way that we did. And cry how much you need. Katja is absolutely right. And there is no too much, but we slowly come to a point of reconciliation where we're not hysterical, crying in a heap on the floor and not being able to function in our day. And that was where I started, and I'm sure that you can understand that. And it got better a little bit every day after a while. For the first while, it just totally sucked and it was horrible. And then it started to get better. And I didn't cry every day, or I didn't cry for an hour every day. I cried for maybe 10 minutes. And every time I would think of him, I would cry. And then it started to shift a little bit, slowly, that every time I thought of him, it wasn't hysterical breakdown cry, but it was love. And I still miss him. And if I let myself, I will cry any day. But I try to stay in the place of love and gratitude that I had him in my life at all, that we were able to know each other face to face at all. Because I don't know if you know my story. We weren't married. He is my twin flame, and we grew up together, but we hadn't seen each other in 30 years. And in the time that we saw each other, and then he died, it was 1.5 years that we saw each other face to face once, and then he died. We had this amazing relationship, this amazing connection, respecting our marriages and respecting our lives. We had this amazing relationship, completely loved each other to the depths of our souls, but we were able to be together face to face once. So there's something this giant cosmic jip about it. But I stay in that place of gratitude of what if he died and we didn't get to be face to face at all. And that would have been, I don't know how I would recover from that. And so the fact that you had so much love with your husband is beautiful and a gift. And as you go through this grief process, I want you to see these comments and know how many people are sending you love and how many people are supporting you, including me. So I know we went a little bit long today, and I appreciate your listening and your support and you being part of our community of love and our community of light, because that really is how we change the world. We come together and we talk and we listen and we share in our community of light. And I'm just so grateful for you to be part of it. I'm so grateful for you allowing me to be part of your community. And I wish you only love and light. We are past the full moon. We're a little bit past that portal, so things should be calm now for the next couple of weeks. And we'll have the new moon coming in around Father's Day and this, what is that, summer solstice? I always get my solstices and equinoxes confused. So solstice. Enjoy the time. I know there's a lot of stuff shifting. Look for the blessings. When we look for the blessings, we have a much better chance of finding them. I love you so much. Thank you for spending some time with me today. Love and light.